Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. If you're new to my channel, my name is Valerie. I'm a mom of 3 and I do videos around motherhood, motivation, some DIY, lifestyle, bits and pieces. So if you do love the sound of that, please do subscribe because I'm trying to grow this channel. So today I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update in regards to Zayn. So if you don't know about Zayn, Zayn is my 3-year-old toddler. He recently turned 3 on the 15th of December. So yeah, so it's 3 and 1 month to be specific. So I did share a video about Zayn's speech delay. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to leave the link below and also put what do you call it, that card thingy that you can click on, so you can find out more of a background about Zayn and what we're currently going through. But just a quick synopsis. Zayn is 3. Apparently Zayn has speech delay, so he basically finds it hard to express himself at the moment. So that's what we've been dealing with. But a few months back, I believe it was back in October, September or October, we discovered something extraordinary about Zayn. So just to take you back to the beginning, I had a normal pregnancy with Zayn. Everything was normal delivery, you know, everything was fine. And in terms of growth, Zayn has always been taller. In terms of he was always off the chart. You know, the red book where they measure their heights and weights. So he was, from the age of 3 months, he was just literally like double the height and the size that it should have been for that what do you call it, for that age. So as I said, it was a normal developed baby and child. So know that around the age of 1, Zayn already knew his ABCs, he knew his numbers, knew his colours, and to some it was quite shocking. You know, I used to get people saying to me, oh my god, that's amazing, he knows his numbers. And for me, it was quite normal because, you know, all my other kids were the same around that age as well. As a matter of fact, my eldest daughter, who is soon to be 16, actually, you know, knew how to write her full name by the age of 3, which was quite shocking to the nursery teachers at the time. But anyway, so all that was normal, him knowing his numbers and ABCs to me anyway. But the only thing that stood out for me was the fact that his speech was quite delayed. And again, I had experienced something similar with my middle son, who around 2, he had speech delay, but that quickly resolved itself around 2.5 going to 3. So he was fine. So, but it ran in September/October. It was on a Sunday. I was relaxing in bed, and so was my husband. And so Zayn, you know, being a busy toddler, was all over the place, jumping up and down. So I was trying to do some work on the computer, on the laptop, sorry, and he was all over the place. So I said to my husband, you know what, just give him a book so he can sit still. And Zayn, if you look back at my old videos, which I basically documented Zayn's development. So I'll leave some links below as well. I've always said in my videos that he enjoys reading, he enjoys being read to, he loves books, he's always loved books. So I told my husband to give him a book to read so he could sit still and stop disturbing us. And so I just carried on my laptop, and then next thing I knew, I was hearing him read. And so bear in mind, this is a child with speech delay, so normally when he talks, it's much more of a, you know, it's not really, it's like babble language, you know. So I looked at my husband and I was like, so we both looked at each other like, hold a minute. So we both looked down on in the book and saw that he was actually reading word for word. And bear in mind, he was 2 at the time. So we both looked at each other shocked. We could not believe our eyes, honestly. So we were like, what the hell? So I was thinking, oh, maybe because I thought to myself, I was trying to rationalize about thinking, okay, maybe because he knew the book, so probably memorized it somehow, which was irrational of me anyway. But I just could not fathom that a 2-year-old could actually read. He's never been taught to read. It's just, yeah, it was very shocking. So we got another book for him, gave it to him, and he read it. And we were just flabbergasted. So I proceeded to call my daughter and my son to come and see it, and then we were all shocked. If I can find the clip, I will insert it. This book is called Grumpy
Yeah.
Good job. Let's turn the page. And what does it say here?
Green walks with yeah.
Yeah. Grass is
Grass, green, ma.
dude.
But
It says here, dude, frogs are
it's in the
green. And what's this word saying? Do you want to know what doesn't make me happy?
Oh, I call it pink.
Good boy.
No, I like the pink, but before built.
Yes.
What do you do? Bring cover and tweet
Good boy.
and phone.
Yes. Yeah, so we were like, oh my gosh, hugging him and looking at him in awe, like, oh my god, how can a 2-year-old who cannot speak but he can read, even though he has never been taught? Like, crazy. So I quickly went online, as you do, and tried to kind of make sense of it, like to try and see if there was any information about a child. As I was typing, you know, as a child who cannot speak but can read, or speech delay, you know, I was, you know, as I was typing, I thought to myself, that sounds crazy, but I went ahead and typed it in, and I came across this term called hyperlexia. I'm not one for labels on children or anything like that, but when I read the symptoms, it just sounded like Zayn to a T. So let me give you the definition. So hyperlexia is a syndrome characterized by a child's precocious ability to read. It was initially identified by Norman E. Seelberg and Margaret C. Seelberg in 1967, who defined it as the precocious ability to read words without prior training in learning to read, typically before the age of 5. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is Zayn. And so I read in more detail, and I was like, oh my gosh, it sounded like Zayn, because he had it described in another article about the fact that those type of children tend to have speech delays. So in terms of Zayn, he doesn't have any expressive speech, so he cannot express himself. He does a lot of I think they call it echolalia. So basically, if you were to ask him a question, he will repeat back the same question. So if you say to Zayn, how are you, he would say, how are you, back to you, instead of saying, I'm fine, thank you. So yeah, so looking at it, I was like, oh my god. But there wasn't that much information about what do you call it, hyperlexia. I still want to do some more digging and more research. I'm not saying it has it, but this symptoms sounds very, very similar. And I've never heard of a 2-year-old knowing how to read. It's just like crazy. And in some blogs that I read, some people say that it's closely associated with autism. They say it does mimic some autism characteristics. And some argue that it isn't. There's still some more research to be done and to be found about hyperlexia. But it's just so shocking. So as you know, Zayn is now 3, and he reads at a level of a 5-year-old, which is just flabbergasting. So I'm going to insert some more videos and clips of Zayn reading.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Sun, Venus, Neptune.
Yay! You're great, boy!
S, E, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now I know everything. That's all I do.
Yes, good job. Okay, let's read this.
A for apple.
Yes.
B for ball. C for cat.
That's right.
D for dog.
Excellent.
E for elephant.
That's right.
M is for fish.
And it's just crazy. Even till this day, you know, when he reads, it's just like I still find it really, really odd. However, my main focus as a mom is to work on his speech delay and to help him express himself. But I just find it so yeah, I feel so proud, really, really proud of him, because, you know, there were times where I felt really, really, you know, down and stressed about, you know, his speech delay and him not being able to express himself. But to know that he's gifted in that way, if I may say so myself, it just makes me feel, because I'm not, you know, your child, like, he's so clever, so smart, but the fact that he cannot articulate and express himself kind of holds him back. But it's just weird to me how his brain has developed. So basically, it's almost like it's almost like he's skipped certain developmental milestones, but then he can read, but he cannot express himself, which is just mind-blowing. So guys, yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts and also share what we're currently going through. So do comment below if you've ever come across this term, hyperlexia. If you're a mom who is currently going through experiencing what I'm experiencing with your toddler or your child, please do share. I would love to hear more about this, because I don't have a clue, you know. It's so fascinating. So I would love for you guys to keep up with us and follow our journey in terms of how Zayn develops, and I'll keep you posted on how we get on. Currently at this stage, we are waiting for the results of the assessment. They are still unsure whether Zayn has speech delay or if he has autism, so I'll keep you guys posted. So that's all for today's video. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, of course, and do share this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.